Hello, folks. It's Tuesday again. Today we have April 14th, 2026. As always, my name is Theo Todorvodov, and I'm back with the 74th episode of Keeping It Realistic, that show that, as you well know, we do in collaboration with Chaos and is very much dedicated to our beloved Chaos Campus community. Welcome, my friends, to another really exciting and very insightful episode of the show. I see Romain saying hi. Hi back to you, my friend, and to everybody else who's watching us live today or the recording later. Today's topic, from brief to final image, is very relevant on the one side for our ongoing exercise apartment in Germany. I know that some of you are already working on it while others haven't heard about it yet, as we figured out last week. So let me once again post the link in the chat so that you guys can go check it out if you haven't already. Amit, Anatoly, hello guys. Great to have you here. And of course, our topic for the day is also very relevant for every Archviz artist out there who has had to or who has to deal with the situation of a developer reaching out, providing nothing more than a blank floor plan and expecting you to come up with an interior design and create some appealing images that sell in the end. This is a very tricky situation and one that my guest and his studio know all too well. And the great thing is that he's willing to share with us how they approach it and how they make it work. So I would say, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me straight from the German's capital, Mr. Rendart himself, Artem Kachenko. Artem, hello.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Theo.
Nice to have you on the show. Thanks for being
I'm
here today.
super
I know you're
happy.
very busy, but you still made time for us. Really appreciate this.
Thank you.
Now, in this show, before we dive into the main topic of the episode, we'd like to know more, to hear more about our guests, about those people who come and willingly share their knowledge, their experience with us. We really appreciate this. Of course, many of us know you as the person behind rendart, behind Archviz Base, also as one of the organizers of Beam. But we'd love to hear more of your story. So please tell us more about yourself and your creative journey.
I'm super excited, and yeah, thank you for this opportunity. I'm going to. I prepared a presentation, so I'm going to share my screen to show you my beautiful presentation.
Absolutely excited to see it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'll share some links for rendart, for Archviz Space, and for Beam, of course. Let's not forget this awesome
So wait a
yearly
minute.
gathering in Berlin.
Yeah.
So
So let's
we
start.
see your screen.
Can
We hear
you
you.
can you see the presentation?
Yup, we absolutely do.
Okay. So it has a name. My journey. So my journey starts right here in St. Petersburg, Russia, where I was born and grew up until I left the city 2002. Um, I really missed the city. I have to say, it had a huge impact on me as a kid. All this beautiful architecture, all the museums. I was really lucky to to be there and to be exposed to all of this beauty. Should I say? I was raised in a Ukrainian family, so my whole family is actually from Ukraine, um, and I spent every summer in Ukraine visiting my grandparents and my father, who moved there shortly after I was born. And this is me with my father. He was a designer, and he yeah, also inspired my love to to design, to art. I really wanted to be a designer myself, and I had to make a decision after the school. What do I want to study? And actually, on my way to being a designer, I discovered architecture, and I decided to study architecture, which I did at the St. Petersburg State University. And during my studying there, I discovered AutoCAD, and this
I
is what
expected
it.
3ds Max or something, but hey,
Yeah, but it was the second step. So AutoCAD was the very first encounter with 3D world. So through AutoCAD, I discovered 3D modeling, and actually my very first model and my very first rendering was done in AutoCAD. Yeah, and by the way, those this is how computers used to look like in 1998. It was the year. Shortly after that, I discovered 3ds Max, as you mentioned. I believe this was version 2.5 or 3. So this is what you see now on the screen is version 4. But yeah, actually
it's
nothing
already
else.
too advanced for.
It's too advanced. Uh, I think a year later there was Autodesk Viz. Excuse me for the bad quality of the image. I couldn't find anything better on Google. So Autodesk Viz was kind of 3ds Max, but for visualization purposes. And I was really, really blown away by that. So all you can do with 3ds Max. Fortunately, I don't have any work that I did from that time, but I remember that already in 1999, I was already working as a freelancer during the studies. I worked and I earned money with doing renderings for architects, basically. Around 2000, I decided to move to Germany. Basically, I always wanted to leave Russia. I don't know why, but um, I first time I was in Germany was 1995. I was 15 years old, and I really liked it there. A very important fact that Germany offered education for free. It still does. So Leipzig was the city of my choice. 2002, I moved there and was I got a place at university there. It's called uh, HTWK in German. So it's a University of Applied Science. And shortly after that, I got an internship at a local architecture firm. Sorry, it was too fast. So this is me, 2003, and behind me is the office where I worked for several years, and I got an internship there. After that, I stayed there to work there basically during my university years, and also after my graduation, I stayed with the team, and basically I learned a lot of things there. I learned new software. I also did a lot of visualizations there. So this is one of them was done 2004. So this is the that very shame moment. Yeah, when you show your very old work. I believe this was done in, well, obviously it was 3ds Max. I think it was Brazil render because back then I tried some different render engines. After a while, I obviously landed with V-Ray because it was state of the art back then. Still is, by the way. So what you see here is a car parking in a shopping center in London. Yeah,
It's a very expressive one, I gotta say. I
yeah,
mean, it's a bold color scheme.
yeah. Yeah. I have no words to be honest. So these people, I don't know if you know what they are. Can you guess?
Cutouts?
No, they're not cutouts. Those are RPC. I believe this technology still exists and is being used, I guess. But it was a state of the art technology back then. So basically, you have an object in your 3D software that you can rotate, but it is made of different projections of the same person. So you can actually rotate the person, and you will have like a three-dimensional sort of, I would semi three-dimensional thing. So from above, you have no chance of
Yeah,
having
but
a good picture.
this is cool though. I
So
didn't know this one, admittedly.
and as I said, I had to study, and this was one of my very first projects there in Leipzig. It was a local sport club, some sort of football club, I think. And, yeah, it was, as you see, it's a very simple thing, but back then it was okay. Another project for the architectural firm. I think it was a project in London. Again, we had so this architecture office had a connection to another London office, and we did a lot of stuff for them. Yeah, 2005.
But what is this? This seems like some type of installation almost, because
Um, I think so. This is very conceptual, yeah, obviously. Yeah. So this is less photorealism and more like concept study. So this is basically, yeah, a staircase in a shopping center. I think it was a Marks and Spencer. Probably wasn't built. I don't know, but everyone was happy with it back then. Another university project. So this was a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure this was rendered with V-Ray. And so the idea was a sort of exhibition installation space for a museum in Vienna. So we had actually a real briefing for a real project, and it was used in the university just to like so everyone could. I think it was a competition, but we never took part in this competition as students. But it was fun. I still remember it was fun for me to build this environment, and the idea was like a mirrored thing that blob sort of. So these drawings, these section drawings, were made with SketchUp. I think, I'm pretty sure. And during this time, I started doing like freelance jobs for other architects, and this was a project in Leipzig. This was actually built. Then 2006, I had my diploma, and what you see here is my actually my diploma. So 20 years ago, I graduated. And the topic of my diploma was student dormitory. So we had to pick an actual site in the city and do it design as a real architect does in a way. So the idea was to have like layers, if you can see here, layers of facade. So the outer layer was made out of recycled plastic, and this was the idea.
I thought it's a vertical garden.
Um, it's made of it's vertical garden made of plastic.
Okay, so it's a
Yeah, so
membrane type
it
of. Cool.
it's like the vertical garden because of the connection to the park, to the outside world. Anyway, this was me on that day presenting my diploma. And I was really happy that this part of my life is now over, because I spent overall 10 years studying, so with some interruptions, because I had to when I moved to Germany, I had to learn the language, and it's yeah, spend some time doing that.
But you had a fitting tie with the color of your
Exactly.
facade.
Yeah, it was planned, obviously.
Obviously, this is cool because this way we get to know you. You know that we see that you're a person who doesn't only plan, let's say, on a 2D or 3D level, but you also try to take it a step further, which is actually pretty cool, I gotta say.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, my university days were over, and around that time, rendart came to life as an alias first. So I had to, if I wanted to do my freelance job, I wanted to be like professional. So I had a website. Yeah, I had a name. So I was basically a one-man show. Uh, it felt already more than just one person. Like on the outside, it feels like a studio. And during this time, I did a lot of renderings for other architects, local architects in Leipzig, and I also worked as an architect myself. So for I would say 3-4 years, I tried different architectural firms in Leipzig. So we did a lot of competitions. This was an airport in Kinshasa. This was an office building in Kazakhstan. This is local stuff.
Were you doing the
Uh,
architectural works also as a part of rend art, of the
sometimes,
services of rend art, or as part
sometimes.
of teams?
So I I did a lot of drawing stuff, like when they did competitions. So what I would do, yeah, mostly renderings, but also all the other drawings, including the layouts and stuff. And also there were also a lot of boring stuff, which was partly the reason why I decided uh, stop doing architecture and focus 100% on Archviz. So it was a decision that just didn't came suddenly. It was a very gradual thing, So I remember this time was kind of very. So I wasn't very secure about my identity as an architect, and but when I as soon as I realized that Archviz is what I really want to do for the rest of my life, should I say, I I felt this is more me, this fits me much better. Um, and this was another project for an architectural company in Leipzig, but the project itself is in Berlin. It's a state opera, Berlin State Opera. I guess
Feels
it was
amazing though.
a competition which got a second prize, and it landed also in newspapers, and there was some amount of, should I say,
Exposure.
exposure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and um, I remember some politicians, yeah, taking part in this deciding process, but I don't know really what came out of this whole thing in the end. 2008 it was exactly. Yeah, and yeah, this was my setup, by the way. During that time, I remember I switched to Mac, from Windows to Mac, and in the background you see my main computer, MacBook Pro. So I also switched to Cinema 4D, and to Maxwell. Uh, and why I used these ridiculous computers back then? It's because I wanted to be flexible. So a lot of work was done also at the architect's office. So I would spend like a few days for the project working in the office of the architect, and then went back home and do the rest there.
Yeah.
Um,
I remember I also started with a laptop in order to be mobile, and be
Mobile,
able to
exactly.
go to the people's offices and work on site, which almost never happened, honestly. But
Yeah. This was a project in Ukraine, in Odessa. It was a concept of a shopping center. Uh, Again, so this is not my design. I was there to visualize it. We have like two very different concepts. One was really modernist, and the other one was really futuristic, should I say? Um, Yeah,
nice.
it's a very funny feeling looking at this after all these years, because back then, um, obviously you feel something different working on the project, looking at the images, and making choices. Uh, yeah, so we did a lot of different stuff. A lot of concept renderings, but also some like more or less photorealistic, I would say. So this, as you can probably guess, the rendered facade was placed in the photo, and it was a pretty much straightforward process back then, but even now, I guess. But now we do a lot of things like fully in 3D. This was a fun project,
Looks fun,
2010.
dude.
So maybe you can guess what stadium is this? I mean, where for what football club? Can you guess?
Liverpool.
Yes, yeah. It was basically a proposal we did for a London architect, Ian Ritchie, and he did this proposal for Liverpool, for Anfield Club. Um,
Nice.
yeah, it was also fun working on the project. So this was Cinema 4D and Maxwell render, and a lot of Photoshop. Um, Another competition. I really don't remember what this was, like sort of the university campus. I don't know. And I guess this was one of my first real estate projects. So through an architect, I got a job for a real estate guy. So he was like a one-person company, a developer, and it was basically an old city villa in Leipzig that he wanted to renovate and yeah, do some luxury apartments out of it. We I did I did some interior images too, and Maxwell render again.
Which year do we have?
I think it's still 2011, 10, 11. So this is 11. So this is where I actually made a decision to approach real estate companies, real estate developers, and some marketing agencies to be able to work less for for the architects and more for developers. So the decision was very intentional, because I really didn't like these sleepless nights and working on weekends. I had a family back then, and I didn't actually. I didn't regret this decision. I had uh, more, should I say, flexibility, more structure, sustainability for sure, and with clients in real estate, you can also, you don't need like a middle person. So architect is always kind of in a way. um,
Yeah, I share the same experience. I also switched from architectural clients, from architects as clients,
mm,
to developers and investors, just because they were more straightforward.
mm.
I didn't have to argue about every cent. It is just the reality of it. And a lot of the times they were just also more pleasant to work with. I don't know if this is your experience as well, but they were just like, okay, I want this. And if you give them what they want, they're happy. While with the architects, they always wanted to be, for me to be the mouse or the hand which is moving the mouse and doing what they want. And they didn't trust me at all. Most
Well,
of them, of course.
well, obviously, if you work with developers, the architect is still there. Yeah, you just he's not the client anymore, and yeah, it's an interesting topic because like arguing about every cent, it could also happen in the developers world, and we have some arguments, but um, I think you're being appreciated more, and the work you're doing is more, I don't know, it has more value, I guess. Um, but anyway, 2011, yeah, 15 years ago, it was V-Ray. I switched back to V-Ray because of so Maxwell was fun, but it was really noisy. So imagine having no denoiser at all, and if you stop an image, it's always noisy. Even if you let it render for several days, you will never get rid of the noise. And the rendering times was it was a pain. Yeah. So back to V-Ray. Yeah, I could do also animations with V-Ray. So this project included also animations, which I'm not going to show because they were not so good, to be honest. Yeah, it's funny looking at these images. It's supposed to be a luxury city villa, kind of, and it was built, but not in with this design. So in the end, the design was changed completely. So
Nice.
the basic structure remained, but not with this beautiful glazing and stuff. And this is the same project, but the client wanted to try something different, a different design, and this was inspired by this image, which was done by Pure Render. So I'm pretty sure you know Pure Render. They don't exist anymore,
I wanted
but
to say it's a name I haven't heard in a while.
yeah. So they don't exist, but their website is still online, and I could find this particular image uh, mm, still. Yeah. So I have to say I was really inspired by Pure Render back then. Um, Other studios I was inspired by, I would say, well, Luxigon, and back when they started as our lab. Um, then later, obviously, Bertrand Benoit was a huge inspiration. Peter Guthrie, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on and go on. Yeah. Another project, 2012. This is Berlin, and 2012, I moved to Berlin, and it's still my home after all these
Why? Why
years.
did you choose to move to Berlin and not stay in Leipzig?
This was actually a personal decision. So my wife got a job in Berlin, and yeah, I wasn't happy about that, to be honest, back then. Berlin can be really, yeah, like this image, very chaotic,
Eclectic. Yeah.
very eclectic, but it could be also pretty inspiring too. There's a lot of nice corners in Berlin, for sure. But my first feeling was it's too chaotic. After living 10 years in Leipzig, which is much smaller, I got used to this sort of atmosphere, sort of small city vibe. And but after a very short time, I felt very at home in Berlin. So I still do. I mean, it's a like hate love relationship. Sometimes I hate Berlin, especially in winter. But the summer is awesome. Yeah. So I
Third
kept.
person in a row who says that Berlin in the winter is not that great. I think I'll be avoiding visiting it. And by the way, to put things into perspective, my friends, it's 2012, and Artem has been talking for a while now. 2012, I finished my master's and became self-employed as Heldor, just so you understand how much experience our guest for today already has and is bringing and sharing with us.
Yes, all this experience. Yeah, we did. So when I say we, I used to say we because I'm more than just me. Yeah. But back then I was basically a one-man show, but occasionally I needed help on some projects because I couldn't handle them on my own. Like this one, this was a bigger project, so I would ask for help. I would ask for help, basically the people I knew from my university days, and they would help me with the 3D modeling mostly. So I remember for this project, there was a lot of like surroundings models. We got help. Exactly. Um, yeah, something different for a change. A project in China, but And then I did a lot of these apartment buildings, mostly because Leipzig was there were a lot of old buildings that are not in a good shape, and they wanted to turn them into these beautiful apartment buildings. I guess it's for a developer, it's actually I don't know, probably a smaller investment than to build this thing from scratch. I don't know, but Leipzig had a lot of empty buildings. It was in some parts like a ghost city. Now they kind of renovated the most of it. Yeah, a lot of apartments. I remember doing a lot of interiors, um, more or less like loft interiors, because like if you take like old buildings and you want to do modern apartments, you have a lot of times very big uh, rooms, and they feel like loft architecture,
Yeah.
in a way.
High ceilings often too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So nowadays it's the opposite thing. Nowadays we have like very small, like modern apartments. They're very small with low ceilings. Yeah, different problem. Okay, I'm almost done, I guess. No, there was another big change in 2017. What happened in 2017? We said bye bye to V-Ray and we said hello Corona.
Yes.
So for
Yeah.
me, it was an experience. I remember having a lot of fun working with Corona, testing it. So it was a better version back then, and it felt different. I remember that V-Ray. I honestly don't know how V-Ray is nowadays, but back then it was a bit complicated. So you had a lot of features, a lot of stuff that you had to control basically, and with with Corona it was just so intuitive and
Out of the box. Yeah,
out
this
of
is
the
what
box.
Corona is for. It's for Archviz. V-Ray still, it's I think it's easier nowadays. It's you don't have to set up that much, but you still have all of those options because V-Ray is this juggernaut which is there for everyone, for the movie makers, for architectural visualization, for everything. Whereas Corona is kind of focused on architectural visualization, so there is no need for that much setup.
Yeah, look how beautiful this bloom and glare is.
It is. It is.
It's I would say if someone on my team did this now, I would say, "What are you doing? It's too much blue and glare. Are you out of your mind?" Yeah,
It's a matter of style, if
it's a
you ask
matter of
me.
style. Yeah, but back then I was very happy to test all the features. Also, the displacement. You can see the displacement on the fabric.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a lot of fun with Corona, and it was mind blowing. Still is. And back then, I spent a lot of time refining the portfolio. So what I did, I took the old projects and I kind of re re-rendered them basically with more focus on detail, more focus on everything. Basically, I wanted to have um, as much control over the image as possible, while at the same time, yeah, uh, testing the software. So I remember, like,
This was the villa that you already showed us
exactly.
in
This
Mexico,
is
or
the villa. This is the villa. I just did some changes in the surroundings. So, for example, the building you see in the background here, it was another project. But if you do your own stuff, who cares? I mean, so this was like a showcase work, and without a client, you are free of any limitations. You can do whatever you want. So this was my way. And this is, for example, this was my diploma project that I rearranged. So I changed the facade structure, the material.
gold is the green membrane?
Yeah, and the surrounding was done for a competition work. It's actually my university campus in Leipzig, what you see here. So uh, yeah, it was an eclectic work. But the purpose of it was to create to build a portfolio, basically. So this was the main purpose, to build a portfolio that you can show to potential clients, which we did. So in the end, this was another old project. So, and it worked in the end.
Of course. I mean, these are good images. Why should I?
Yeah, and then I decided to make an image or a bunch of images from scratch. So I decided I want to do a Parisian apartment. I always wanted to do it. I did some research, and then this baby was born. So I tested some uh, materials, some color combinations. Um, Again, I was completely free. No, so I was my own art director here, and I could do whatever I want.
No constraints whatsoever.
Exactly. There was another one, basically Japan inspired, or yeah, image. And this was done. This was done, by the way, during the and yeah. As I said, re refine the portfolio and could use. And back then, 2018, I wasn't alone anymore, so I started hiring people in 2016, I believe. So 2017, my first permanent employee came. Ada, she's still with us, so it's almost 10 years ago. And then each year a new employee would join us. Yeah, so we use the new refined portfolio to acquire clients. So I would send out cold emails, and it worked. Yeah, so we could land some nice jobs. A lot of residential. This is in Leipzig city center. So we actually combined 3D with photos here, and so the buildings are there. Last time I checked. 2019. So this is a nice step on my journey. I decided to start a meetup, an Archviz meetup, to uh, basically the idea was to, yeah, the 3D community in Berlin had no meetup. There were like some attempts, but I think my attempt worked because I was very persistent. So we yeah, had some really good meetups. It was before Corona, and it was a lot of fun. Like meeting with people and having beer, talking about our profession. We even had some meetups at company offices, and this was the last one before COVID. You can see Peter and Hannes on this image.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun, and this was the first one after the COVID lockdown. And after this meetup, I got Corona.
Of
I
course.
remember,
Yeah.
but we had fun. We had fun. So you see Peter behind me, and yeah, basically it's like a family in a way. Yeah. So it was really inspiring. So you now for someone who's watching, uh, if you don't have a meetup in your country, in your city, you should start one. It's a nice way to get to know people, uh, basically to have fun, yeah, and to have connections, real connections. It's there's nothing better than that.
Do some
Yeah.
networking, and honestly, the images that you're showing are so inspiring for this. And we actually have, apart from what you just said and the beam meetups, we have a member, Amit, who actually started organizing this in his town of Mumbai, because
Really.
there is no meetup. So he starts organizing this, and every time the number of people grows. And I can imagine this turning into something big one day, similar to what you're showing right now, the Berlin 3D art meetup short beam.
Exactly. So at some point, it it became this beam thing that you know now. So Peter, it's basically Peter's baby. Yeah. So I I wasn't that involved into this creation, and this is like a promotion video we did 2 years ago. Yeah. So it's every time it's a lot of fun.
It is.
We have awesome speakers. We have always some discussions, some networking. I I'm always super excited. And chaos, I have to say, couldn't be alive without chaos, because it's a collaboration. Basically, they did some meetups on their own in Berlin. And after the second one, we approached them. So me and Peter, we approached them and asked them if it's a good thing if we join our forces and do something together next time. So they really like this idea, and here we are. We already have had five, I guess, 5 or 6. I stopped counting. Um, so we usually have two meetups each year, one in September, one in March, and so far it's it's going good. So
Since
Peter Hannes joined us. I I think 1 year ago, 2 years ago. Anyway, I have to say honestly, Peter and Hannes, they're doing most of the job, but I'm still very happy to be a part of it. and we had Jason Bergeron this time. So I don't have to introduce Jason, I guess. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So
You're
we're
asking the
almost
most
done.
questions, though. This I gotta say, you're always sitting in the first row and asking questions, and good ones for that.
Yeah, it's because no one wants to sit in the first row. I don't know why, but those are the best seats in the first row. You can see everything clearly. You can ask questions. You can engage in the conversations with the speakers. It's awesome. So I will always be in the first row. Yeah. Now I want to show some of the images that we've done in the recent years. And we actually we do a lot of offices. We have some clients that are like real estate developers, and they work on really big projects, mostly in Munich area. So we have it's a
Right.
funny thing, but we have a lot of, I would say 90% of our clients and our projects are in the Munich area. And so this is a client. They've done a few big projects in Munich, so office spaces, and it was a lot of fun. I have to say, it's also very challenging. So if you ask my team members, they would say it's really challenging, especially with the clients who are very should I say, picky. Yeah, like we usually have a lot of correction rounds, and they would comment on the people's clothing, shoes, whatever, like all small details. So yeah, it's a lot of work. So the people you see here are 3D people, a lot of anima people. So here for sure, you can see a lot of anima
Yeah.
people because we
We
also
recognize
did.
some.
Sorry.
We recognize some of them even.
Yeah. You recognize by name.
Not yet, but at some point, because we also scanned ourselves during the last Chaos Connect days. So at some point, you can have Theo and other
Nice,
people.
nice. Yeah, but I have to say, yeah, anima is a big help. So we have, and I think every time I work with anima, I see more people. So it's always like someone new, and yeah, the variety is beyond any imagination. Yeah, we did some animations of this sequence. Basically, it's the same room in different times of the day. Yeah, so this is the morning, this is the afternoon, and the evening. And we did. I didn't want to show this animation to save time, and actually, I believe that the images are much better because you have also this AI filter, sort of. Yeah, another office building in Munich. What a surprise! And this was done recently. So we finished this project, I believe, in January this year. But we spent a lot of time because there was also an animation involved. This was, I believe, our biggest project up to date. And it's from Herzog de Meuron. So it's another thing I'm very proud of, to yeah, to have the chance to work on a project like this. A lot of people. A lot of people.
Yeah, really lively, you know.
Yeah, it's the same thing here with different moods of the same space. Yeah, and apart from the office projects, we do a lot of residential stuff in different styles, should I say, but mostly um, high-end luxury real estate. So
Beautiful image.
exteriors, interiors, you name it. So this is, for example, a full CG. So everything you see here is was done in cinema and Corona. Yeah, this is what we do.
And you're doing it great, honestly. Looking at those images, um, I can't wait to start with the main topic that we have today. No, because these interiors just look fantastic. And they're different ones. You know, it's not only this one type that you specialized in. You have different types of interiors that you tackle, and yeah, just beautiful, beautiful imagery. This was
Yeah,
the one from the cover, right? Oh, this will
exactly.
probably answer how one of the questions we already have, which is
Yeah,
how many people you are over at rendart.
yeah. We are at the moment we are three people, including me. So the studio um, kept growing. Well, after 2019, I think 2019 we were four people. Then after Corona, on the peak we were eight people. But then I have to say the last 3 years were really tough, really challenging. The German real estate market was very turbulent. I don't have to explain to you, Theo, that you know this
Yeah, but to the
probably.
audience, yeah, that,
Yeah, for the audience. So I this was really tough. Like the last 3 years, I guess it all started 2003. So we, yeah, 2000 to 23. I mean, 2022. This war started, and it basically made everything,
yeah.
yeah, much worse.
Energy prices, gas prices, construction material prices skyrocketed, which resulted in developers freezing a lot of projects, stopping to invest, stopping to build, and all of this. And of course, this had a huge impact on the
Oh,
visualizers in Germany.
yeah. I mean, I had to get rid of employees. Yeah, and it was really one of the toughest thing in my life. Like to tell people, yeah, basically, there's no job for you in the studio. But then it got better, and we would hire more people because it got better. And then the same thing happened again. And so it was back and forth, back and forth. And after a while, I decided, no, we need to stop. Even if it gets better, we won't hire people. So now we are three. We have plenty of work. This, which is good. And every time we we can't handle it on our own, we just yeah, we get freelancers. This is how it goes now, because this team is the best team, yeah, ever. I really mean it.
We should share the video with them afterwards. I mean, in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
it will be on our YouTube channel. Then you can freely share it so that they hear these words because I'm sure they will.
They know that. So Lara and Athena, they know this pretty good. But I obviously I keep telling this. Um, yeah, but I'm ending this with to be continued because we never know. The future is not written. It could be anything, you know. So we'll see.
Thank you so
I'm
much for this.
I'm very
Honestly,
optimistic.
yeah, I think we can be optimistic. I think things are going better now, upwards again. Generally from my feeling, but yeah, I love hearing your story. I think it was great to follow this and be able to see the growth of you as an artist, of your studio at some point, and also this, let's say, additional part which came with the meetups. Like you started something which now kind of evolved into the Beam event, but seeing all of those things, to me personally, even though I already have my own studio, but if I was a young artist and I would see this, this would encourage me to just follow my dream, to do whatever I I think is the right thing to do, and even if it doesn't run perfectly or immediately the way
Mm,
you want it, then just continue. There are better times, there are worse times, but this, gradual improvement, this is what matters, not maybe the final outcome. There's to be continued, how you
continued
ended so
exactly.
nicely. So thank you so much for this. There are three questions that I want to ask you from the audience because I didn't want to interrupt the flow. But yeah, we have the first one was from Romania. I asked you about how big the rendart team is. The second one would be from Irakli, who, I mean, he has more questions in the meantime. I can ask in the Q&A, but this one was about, he says, architects always love render companies or freelancers with an architectural education background because it's considered that architects can see more deeply into the projects.
Mhm.
Do you agree with this?
For sure. I'm an architect. I can understand other architects, but um when I hired people, I, it wasn't the main criteria for me. So, for example, on our team now, well, Athena is an interior designer, and Lara doesn't have any architectural background. So we we have our focus. Each one of us has focus. I am basically there for everything. Athena is our interior specialist, and Lara is more in exterior. And I used to have people on my team yeah, who who didn't study architecture, but they still could do a fantastic job. So, I mean, it helps. Sure, it helps, but it's not
Mandatory.
100% necessary. In even in architecture, there are a lot of examples, like famous architects who didn't study architecture, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you're observant enough, if you look around yourself, you probably would never visualize something which I've seen, I gotta say. Walls that are paper thin and stuff like this, which just doesn't resemble reality. But I think
Yeah.
that generally speaking, if, let's say, maybe not each and every individual in the studio is an architect or has something to do with architecture, but if there is at least one or two people who can explain something, like properly read plans and stuff like this, I think it helps too. It just, you know,
Yeah, reading plans is essential. I would say, yeah, but it's not the only
sure.
thing.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I have here a statement from Jane. You know Jane very well. It's been there 3 times, I think, or 4 times already. He says real estate want more marketing images. It is important for the images to look nice and joyful and be pleasant to the eye, while architects want to see the exact raw color, but are also open for more stylish and moody images. Would you agree with this?
Yeah, it I mean, it can be different for different countries, different areas of the world. I would say for Europe, um, well, at least for Germany and maybe France and Switzerland, yes. So they prefer, like, sometimes you don't see any sunlight. Everything is very diffuse, you know. So this is how you can tell, okay, this is a competition image, or
Yeah,
yeah.
it's done for architects, not for others.
And real estate, they sometimes it could be too much, even like with our clients. Sometimes they want oversaturated skies, or yeah, you know, these problems, Theo. Yes, yeah. What the client has is always right, you know. So
We'll
you
talk about
do.
it in the Q&A. I also wanted to ask you, while you studied architecture, did you at some point during your studies learn interior design? Because have masters in architecture, I never learned proper interior design. This topic was never a part of this. So I wanted to ask you,
Mm.
is it something that you learned at some point? I heard that in your studio you have an interior designer, because today we'll talk about interior design. But you yourself, did you study it too?
No, I didn't study it in the university, but I really love the topic. I I wanted to. I always wanted to be better in interior design, basically. Yeah, because you want to do your work well. Um, it wasn't easy. I had a lot of a lot of struggle on the way. I think it's a process. Or you live and learn. Even if you studied something in the university, you're not prepared for everything in your
Of course.
professional life. But I also believe that some people can just do it better, yeah, than the others. Like Athena, she's she's very good intuitively. I don't know. I have to ask her. Actually, it's a very interesting question. If she thinks it's the result of what she learned in the university, or was it something that she already could do well?
I think
Uh,
it definitely plays a role to know some basics, to know, some theory. Um, I mean, there is a reason why people study it for years. But yeah, maybe she could participate in our exercise. It would be amazing
maybe,
to see
maybe,
her version of it if she
yeah.
has time for that. And now that we already talk about interior design, let's dive into the topic and see how rend art does it from brief to final image when it comes to residential office and interiors, of course.
Yeah. So what you see here is a mood board on Miro. So Miro is the software we use internally and also with the clients for graphic communication, um, which is super helpful. So we've been using it for the last, I would say, 5 years now, and I really can't imagine doing what we do without this tool. I know there are other tools that do exactly what Miro does, but we use it and we're happy with it. So basically, it's a online board where you can save all the images, all the text, and everything, and then the clients and our team members, they have access to it, and then we can look at the images at real time, comment on it, and yeah, it's very helpful. And we also use other tools like Asana for overall project management, which is super important when you have a lot of projects, a lot of tasks, a lot of people on the project. But we won't cover it here. It's just for uh, time saving. So when we say brief, yeah, we it's not the same with different clients. You have different um, information that you have to work with, and sometimes we what we get from the clients is just a number of images we have to produce. Sometimes they could be very specific, and also when we talk about developers, yeah, real estate developers, and today we're only going to talk about real estate archviz. um, the clients, they might be like a small company where just one or two people yeah, make decisions, all the decisions. Sometimes it's a bigger company, and you will have someone assigned to you from like sales and marketing. And in this case, it could be even better because they know what they want. And actually, the best client is the client who knows what he or she wants. Because there's nothing worse than a client
Yeah,
who doesn't, yeah, who doesn't know why uh, they don't like what they see. Yeah, so we want to make sure that we speak the same language, and we want to make sure that we understand what the client wants, and we want to help them make their decisions, and maybe they will come again. Yeah, this is uh, this is what we want. In this case, I will start with this project. So this is an exterior image we did for this, but we are talking about the interiors now. And this project was done in two phases. And for the first phase, they asked us for two interior images. So we've done several exterior images, but only two interior images. And they were specific enough to tell us they want a living room and a bathroom.
Artem,
But
before you continue, let me please,
yeah,
exactly this. I wanted to ask you to zoom in a bit more so that we see better because, you know,
okay. I'm going to zoom first. I'm going to zoom in for the plans
yeah,
so you can see.
fantastic. Thank you.
So this is the project was yeah, consisted of basically three houses. So this is one separate house, and this was a semi-detached. So in total three. So we could choose from all these three, and we choose this one because it offers us like a better view of not only the living area, but also, if we are lucky, we can have a peek of the dining area too. And if you compare these to the other rooms, you would say, yeah, there's this staircase in the way that is, yeah, it's not very beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so this was the living room. We made a decision, and usually we do it exactly like that. We put like a red frame, and then we tell the client, you can have a look on at the board. This is this is our proposal. We would maybe have a quick talk with them and explain why we chose this rooms for the images before we even do the 3D part. And here, this was our pick for the bathroom. We wanted to show like a nice bathroom with window, and maybe if we look at the bathroom from this side, we could open the door and see the wardrobe in the background, which would do the image, yeah, maybe slightly more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after the client confirmed, we've done our white views. This is how we call them. Some people call them clay renders. We call them white views. Yeah, we also had to make an image format slightly longer than
Yeah.
like more landscape than usual. So I believe this was 2:1. I think so. So usually all our images. So we would start with like 14 by 9. Yeah, it's more or less the, or you could say, and sometimes we do 4:3 when we need more floor. Usually in a bathroom, this was actually an exception that we used like a normal format for the image for the bathroom, because usually bathrooms are super small, and sometimes we even go for a square in a bathroom just to have a better view
Yeah.
of all the surfaces. Otherwise, it's just too cut off. But here we decided, yeah, why not? It's a nice bathroom. I would be happy to have a bathroom like that. To be honest, to have a shower and a bathtub and the window.
And a walk-in
So
closet.
yeah, yeah, this is awesome. Actually, these apartments, they were really good. Probably less, yeah, slightly more expensive than I can afford, but okay. So this was the first step. They confirmed. We move forward. So the next part is basically very straightforward. Yeah, the first preview round. Obviously, we know the first preview round is not the last step. So they will be with some clients. I mean, there are exceptions. I had projects you where the clients confirm after the first preview and you are good to go. But this is a very rare
A
case.
rare occasion, yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of styling, they didn't give us any briefing. Yeah, there were no references involved, but I I believe that, let me think. I believe that they came to us in the first place because we were recommended to them by some other company that we work with in Munich. And this other company, I mean, this is one of our closest clients, and we've done so many projects with them. So this client, they know exactly what we do for this other client. So, and they told us basically do something like that because they knew already our work, what we do, how we do it, and they were already happy with the result, even if it wasn't done yet. Yeah.
They vouch for you.
Yeah. So this was the living room preview, and of course it's not final. It's not 100% exactly something's missing, I should say. So it's a raw preview. This was a preview for the bathroom, and here we had more information because yeah, for a bathroom you always need like a specification, sort of for all the faucets, for all the appliances. So this is like a more technical. Yeah, so you need to know, yeah, what sink, what faucet. This is important. Yeah, you can't just do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
no.
So here we got some stuff. I believe I couldn't find it, but in the end, we got some feedback. We got some feedback from the clients, and the feedback for the living room was, so they sent us, first of all, those are our images. Yeah, they took from our website, and they told us here we just need more contrast, basically more color, more contrast. This was their feedback. Yeah, and those were the references. Here, their feedback was, we actually liked your other project, and we want the same stone, the same mirrors, the same wood. So make it like this. This was the feedback. Yeah, and this is what we did. Yeah, we just took because we this is our project. It was easy for us just to
Take over.
copy and paste, basically copy and paste from this project to this project. And with the living room, yeah, we increased the contrast a little bit. We added some nice details, because this is the dining kitchen area. We don't see the kitchen at all, but this is kind of a reference, yeah, to the kitchen, and this is a reference to a family home. And then there was some last feedback. They wanted a different couch, like a softer couch, whatever that means. So we took this one. They also wanted to have some darker accents, which I think is nice. So we made the framing of this mirror in black, and then these spots and the floor lamp, and in the end, this was the final image. Then here, what we changed for the bathroom, I think they wanted different faucets here and here, and this was the only thing. Yeah, and the final images, I don't think we use any AI here in this case. So usually it's just Photoshop, so rendering in 5K. So for the previews, we work with 2K images. The finals are at least 5K. Yeah. And then the project went into the second phase. And for the second phase, they wanted 3 additional interiors. And what they wanted was one dining kitchen area for one of those houses, and any bedroom and kids room. Yeah, it was actually a nice combination. So we picked these rooms, basically the same decision process. We always want to have big room. So I would, if I had to choose, I would choose always the biggest room if I have this choice at all, because the rooms they look always smaller than they are actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you need sometimes you need to fake it somehow, which I don't like, but it's part of the process. Like in the case of the bedroom, uh, I put the camera outside. So this is what we do in this situation. You put the camera outside. I'm going to try to draw. So if we stand here, and this is our camera. Yeah. So we hide this wall, and then we see the room as it can't be bigger than that. You know.
Yeah. So you're using camera clipping.
Yeah.
So
Camera clipping and always frontal in these situations, because otherwise it looks much smaller. So obviously it can get boring at some points if you have like a project with only frontal images. So in this case, I would try to mix it with some angled views. But as I mean, if the client doesn't mind having frontal images, yeah, why not? They look, in my opinion, like frontal perspectives. They look slightly like more high end and more sophisticated in a way. Um, yeah, there's a certain calmness to this format. And less distraction. Yeah, so obviously they are less. How should I put it? Uh, what's the word? Yeah, they're pretty calm. Yeah, so
yeah.
this is it could be good, could be bad, but if it makes the image better, why not use it? Yeah, so this was the bedroom. I didn't even make another proposal. So this was me behind these images. It's well, when I show these images, it doesn't mean I made all of those. Sometimes those are my yeah team members, but this was me in this case, and I really liked the idea of showing all the windows in the bedroom. So to have all this natural light. When I have windows in a room, I always try to show these windows because it makes a very good impression to have all this natural light. Natural light is the best. So why
Yeah.
not? Why
One
not
has to
use it?
know their market, of course. Like here in Germany, where it rains a lot and the winter is long and all of this, natural light is like sunlight also is very, very appreciated. There are countries out there where shadow is more appreciated because let's say it's very hot, the sun is burning your skin, so you need to focus more on stuff like shadow, like sheltering and all of those. But here in Germany, knowing the market, we always try to show and thematize natural lighting as much as it gets.
In the interior, yes, but
Yeah,
if we show exterior images like a terrace, for example, the clients they yeah it's yeah let's move on because
yeah. The
now.
German mentality, people will say, "Oh, so many windows, who's gonna clean them?" And stuff like this.
So
So
yeah, we had also different other rooms to show. So then we have the kitchen dining area. Here, actually, my first choice was this image. Was basically the same approach. But then I thought, why don't we try to show it from the other side? Because like that, you can see probably like more of the room, and also the kitchen has more weight in the image, because here the kitchen is too far away. And the client preferred actually this one. And as you can see, for these wide views, uh, we can be sometimes we can simplify a lot. Like with the kitchens, we don't model the whole kitchen, like, just to save time, because we have to deliver. We have other projects in the pipeline, so we don't spend too much time on the wide views. And sometimes we even use placeholders. Okay, maybe they can be approved by the client, but we use some preset models. So in our library we have like dining sets. So it's usually it will include like a table, chairs, some decoration on the table, and a lamp. But this wasn't a preset, just to be clear. Uh, Here I copy and pasted some stuff from other projects, but you wouldn't recognize it because it's a different angle basically. So even if the client is in the same city, yeah, and they see the images, it was a different project from a different client. So yeah, there was no problem with that. With If we work with one client on different projects, we try to avoid like copying too much, like from project to
Yeah.
project, obviously. But with different clients, it's not a big problem. Okay, so this was an approved camera for the kitchen dining, which I actually liked, because you see it's a big room, and you have all the functions you see very clear. And the kids room was the third image. So Athena did this image, and this is what came. Um, this was a wall. We At least we interpreted this as a wall, because this was
Yeah.
the plan of this room.
It
Yeah, for
looks like a
me,
wall.
it looks like a wall. It wasn't a wall.
And it's a
So
huge ass kids room, by the way.
it is. I mean, I'm so jealous of this kid, kid one. Yeah. So the preview round was like that. So we wanted to have some darker accents and some bright stone surfaces. So it started, I guess, with this table, because the table was already marble, and someone's calling on my door. But so yeah, we tried to have some darker accents, in this case these chairs. And then the decision was made that okay, we use some marble on the kitchen counter, but we combine it with some dark wood. I think it was what is it, oak, like domed oak.
Almost too dark for oak. It's more some type of nut or tree or
Or
something.
maybe not. Anyway, this was the initial idea, that we use some combination of white marble and white chairs, but then some darker accents. And they, as with the first phase of this project, they didn't. set any like there were no references. It was just like we want these rooms and just come up with something. So this is what we came up with. This was the bedroom. Yeah, what you see here are like comments from internal comments. So sometimes because those are older projects, I had to collect them from our archive and put them on the board. And this is not an actual. It was an actual board of these three images, but the rest is new, and that's why you don't see so many comments here. Uh, you just
Yeah.
so the client commented here. So they wanted some a different color for this painting and something else.
Why don't they comment on the painting?
Yeah,
But
because so this comment included like different things.
okay,
Well, you can't expect that the clients comment correctly. Sometimes, even if we send them the link to this mural, they would send us PDFs back with comments. Everything is chaotic with the clients. So here we are with the bedroom and with the kids room. So for the kids room, obviously we wanted to have a bit more color in it, to have more storytelling. This was pretty
yeah, kind of
straightforward.
stylish and rounded. But I mean, those small storytelling elements. Just take a look at this moon lamp in the kids' room. This is exactly the type of thing you wanna have. It's subtle and stylish enough, but it's still great for storytelling, and immediately tells you this is not a grown-up's room. This is a kid's room.
So when we do kids room, first thing we do, we need to agree what kid is it? Is it a boy? Is it a girl? What age? And I usually like doing a kids room for my kids. So I have a daughter. She's 10 years old. So I would do. But this could be a boy for sure. And this was done by Athena. So she doesn't have kids. But yeah, this is I think it's a nice kids room. So I only missed a lamp here on the table. That's it. But then the client commented that this is actually not a wall here. Uh, I don't know. For me, it looked like a wall, but anyway. And they wanted a shelf on this wall. So goodbye moon lamp. Yeah, exactly what that was my reaction. And they wanted a chair in a different. So this is what we did, and the lamp. I think we had a different lamp. Yeah, they wanted a cloud-shaped lamp or whatever.
That wall was so awesome there, though.
Yeah, it was.
They should consider it for their next project.
Another thing I have to mention, what I really like to do for interiors is like a small trick. I love to let some air in, So I wouldn't do it in every room, in every interior, but like if you do several interiors for a project, like a good half of them would have open windows inside, because it it lets your image breathe in a way, and let some light in. So we did it here, we did it here, we didn't do it here, but it's okay. It, yeah, they wanted a different painting, so we got this one. This was actually an image generated with Midjourney. So I think I did it 2 years ago. So I had a phase where I was like playing with Midjourney and doing all these paintings for our library. So we have a lot now. We're covered on this part
AI art.
for life. Yeah, yeah. So this is
How you started from a floor plan and ended up with like fully furnished and stylishly designed interiors. By the way, Artem, let me just um, tell you it's 20 to 4, just so you
yes,
have a bit of an idea of the time.
yes.
Because I know you have more to show. It's not the only
Yeah,
prototype.
I over prepared. I know. I mean, as you say, we can do one more, or we can do the questions.
No,
It's
I
up
think
to
we
you.
can do one more. I mean, it's always interesting for me to know what do you, let's say you said when you choose the rooms, you said you go for the tend to go for the biggest room because, you know, it just always it's always better to have a big airy space than something which looks kind of confined and
Mhm.
kind of too smallish and claustrophobic. Are there any other maybe things that you know pay attention to while picking a room, like
Yeah.
strong points or something?
So one thing would be looking for highlights. Like, for example, if you have a balcony or a big window or both, yeah. So you want to show the highlights of the room, and yeah, make the room look as big as possible, and um what else, what else. Yeah, we would usually start, like, if we do living room. Yeah, we would usually start with the sofa, like, choosing a sofa could be tricky, because in these plans, well, you have some furniture here in the plans, but this is usually smaller than the real furniture. Somehow these programs that architects use, they have generic sofas that are too tiny. I don't know why they do it. Like, it's not the same with the tables. Tables are usually all right, and obviously the kitchens are exactly as they are in real life. But the sofas are a bit problematic. So
Sofas don't have that type of standard measurements that, let's say, a dining table
exactly,
has,
exactly.
and this is why they tend to be smaller because they look better, they fit better, and all of this. But yeah,
Yeah,
I've also noticed this. Once you try to replace, let's say, the 2D placeholder with a real sofa, you're
yeah,
like, this doesn't fit.
no. And this is obviously is a proposal. Yeah, it's not like we are supposed to have two armchairs. So you should read it with some distance.
It's
Like,
like this is the living room, more or
this
less,
is the living room.
and it
Yeah,
fits furniture.
you can arrange it in any possible way. Whereas with kitchens, obviously, this is the end design, should I say.
Yeah. And here we have a question by Irakli who says, who designs the furniture? Does the customer give any references?
Sometimes they do references. Sometimes, a lot of times, they don't give us any references because they have their own. They are busy, busy people. They know we can handle it. So usually they just tell us, go with it, and then we'll see. And usually it works. We had situations where we had to redesign, basically, but those are very picky clients, and also clients that don't know what they want. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this case, this is a different client, this project. And this is a client that we've been working with for many, many years, and we've done so many projects. So here, as you can see, there's only one preview phase after the white views, and then we are at final. Those were some additional images, but the images I was going to talk about, they were basically, yeah, we were faster with that. And here, what was interesting is that they wanted a dining dining kitchen situation and the living situation of this penthouse. And this is what we proposed. So we didn't have to choose the room because the room was chosen by the client already. So they already knew they wanted to show the penthouse. And the bathroom was basically also easy. And with the bedroom, yes, we had to think which bedroom is better, more suitable. We ended up doing or proposing this one because it has this indoor closet. And I already thought of this image where you have like a pic of this on the right side and having this window on the left side. So for me, it was kind of already in my head from the beginning. And the clients, they just went with us. But here, this is what we came up with, like a frontal image where you can see both the kitchen and the dining equally, should I say. But the client decided that the balcony is more important than the kitchen. So we just rotated the camera so we can look. We still can see the kitchen. Yeah, we understand that we are in the kitchen area, but we can see yeah, in this direction. And then this was a preview. I just stick with this image. This was the final. So as you can see, not much change happened. But then there was a second phase. So this happens actually a lot with clients who just they want more. So they come again and ask for more. And this is really good because you already have the model. Everything is already there. So what they wanted was they wanted to open the windows. So here they actually didn't want to open them, I remember, because the table, the distance or the space between the table and the balcony windows, doors, whatever, is very, very small. So if you want, so this is like a planning issue. It's not our fault that this happened, but here they wanted to show how generous the space is. And if we would open the window, we can see like the sunset. And this that's not a sunset, like a golden hour
It's a beautiful
thing.
situation, though, I gotta say.
Yeah. So what we did here, we remodeled the windows, because if we usually we work with like standard window models, or we even model the windows each time for the project. But here, if we open those, there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's just
The whole
empty.
mechanics of a window are not visible on the side. Yeah.
Yeah, but here I decided that it was kind of important. So yeah, I took some photos of my windows, and then we modeled the details of the windows. And yeah, Athena likes to use this depth of field for the interior images. I honestly I don't use it that much. Only for some close-ups, just to have this vignette style, but it's okay. I don't mind having it here. I think this was enhanced with AI a little bit. So this antipasti thing. Yeah, and with the other images, it's pretty straightforward. So this one I liked how it came out. So remember my idea of having yeah, the window on the left side, the closet on the right side, and the bed not in the middle. So it was important for me that it's not in the middle. So it's off the center, and I really like it. I think this third is exactly here. Uh, yeah, I can draw.
Drawing by hand is always
So yeah, this is the yeah we've done a terrace. So some clients consider terraces to be interior. It's a funny thing. Some not. So for me, a terrace is clearly an exterior image. But I guess because you are so close to
to the
the
interior.
house and to the interior, it's basically the same level of detail, the same as if you do interior. So obviously, when we do exterior, we are not that close. We can skip some things. We are not that detailed. You know, like when it comes to interior, you have to be super detailed.
But
Yeah,
honestly,
but this one,
I totally see it like you, but at the same time, we had a big empty terrace in front of our living room, and this year we built a pergola, like 3 by 4 meter pergola, and suddenly this feels like an outdoor living room. And this way, I kind of understand if people go like, "Oh, you know what?
Mhm.
This is part of the interior, even though it's on the outside."
Yes, exactly. And it has the same level of comfort of yeah, coziness. Mm, yeah, so yeah, I think we don't cover the other projects, but here I just want to add that there was this second phase of the project, and they also decided to add more interiors, like to have in the end they almost covered the whole building, like all the apartments in the building. We've done them in 3D, and the idea was to have like the overall base styling for the interiors, but still we wanted them to look somehow different. But here we did use some reference the client provided us. I just forgot to to put them here, but the client found some renderings done, was basically the same local market in Munich. I don't know who made those images, but they were really good, I have to say, and they had less color than we use. So we usually try to add some color in the images. So also, if you add color, try to add some different things of the same color that will, yeah, just looks better, I guess, like like a designed thing. So
Yeah,
yeah,
beautiful
not
highlights.
just put random color, but I usually try to
If you zoom in on one of those images, I think it could be a great background for some questions. Um, First of all, I gotta say, I mean, congratulations. It seems like it happens quite often with you and your clients and your projects that clients ask for more images. And what better compliment for an artist or studio to have people or clients that are so happy with the outcome that they actually ask for more. Best thing that could happen, if you ask me. There was this question here by Amit. He says, if you put the furniture on your own, do you take in consideration that, let's say, those pieces of furniture are available in real life? Or do you make the client understand that it's just a reference and they should buy something else, whatever fits in their budget?
So first of all, yes, we do. When I tend to use models of existing furniture. It's and this is the reason I don't use Evermotion models because they are kind of made up. Yeah. I always try to use real furniture, and sometimes this doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes clients ask us what models are those, what furniture, what manufacturer. And this way I can tell him, okay, this is a Minotti armchair, and I also this also helps me to find the perfect like styling for this particular market. I would say it's because we we know that these apartments they are expensive, so the people who would buy them, they have certain lifestyle. So we want to um, yeah, talk the same language, yeah, and to yeah, to make the right choice. So yeah, it is important,
So
I
you
would
make
say.
sure that, let's say, what you use as furniture is something which is actually available on the market. But obviously, if you're the one who comes up with the interior design, you don't have
Mhm.
to, abide to, let's say,
Yeah.
a budget or something like this. You show an idea of how a
Mhm.
space could look like if they decided to buy those pieces of furniture, but that's the end of it. I mean, you don't have to get
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
more specific, because at the end of the day, if they want something specific, they shouldn't be just letting you do it. They should give you a very precise interior design um,
Mhm.
to follow.
This is just a proposal. This is our proposal, and this will probably end like a proposal. So it will never be uh,
Yeah,
implemented.
it shows
It
what the
will,
room is capable of,
yeah,
right? And
exactly.
how when you have this, let's say, these empty floor plans that you start with, how do
Yeah.
you decide which, let's say, architectural direction to go with? There's so many styles out there. Why do, let's say, minimalism or baroque or whatever? Obviously, we don't do a lot of baroque interior design today, but or do you try to do something timeless, which is neither no specific direction?
Okay. Yeah. Each project is different. I guess each client is different. So if we work with a client for the first time, we would try to like have a round of like references, exchanging references for the styling, and also to aim for a certain market. Like since this is German market, uh, we know we've seen other designs, we've seen other projects that on the market. So we pay attention to this. We also pay attention to the trends. So we wouldn't use like very old design that doesn't mean some that that is not a statement in a way. So yeah, it's a little bit complex, I would say. So there's no there's no recipe for like, yeah, finding the right style. But like paying attention to what other do, and other offices, other architects, and like what helps is looking at the uh, magazines. There are like a lot of magazines for this sort of thing, furniture design, interior design, and it helps. I would I would suggest like finding some interior design magazines, like the that are from not from 1999, but
So
like from
state of
this
the
year.
art and like contemporary interior design. So you follow the trends, but would you go full into a certain design direction, or would you say you stay a bit more general when it comes to the design, so that it's not like totally Japani or Scandinavian
Mm,
minimalism or whatever, but you try to keep it more generic?
yeah, I would say more general, because if you go in one direction, this has to mean something. Yeah, so then it's very specific. You know, if you go in one direction, then it's a statement, and it can be misinterpreted by someone. So then those decisions are not being made by us, I would say. So sometimes we work with like art directors. Some developers, they can yeah, hire all sorts of people, like not just sales people, but yeah, art directors. They would set the direction for us, and then we would follow. And sometimes some weird stuff can come up, came out from all these collaborations. But in these cases that I showed, there were no art directors involved. I believe the no. So this was also a very interesting project. I just show you very quickly the process, and how this turned into this. Uh, but actually, I wanted to show you this project. So here there was an art director involved, actually, and what he did was just to tell us what furniture we should use. And yeah, but we've been working with this person for a long time, so he knows how we work. We know how he works, and we already know, yeah, what we should or shouldn't use. So here there were not so many changes made, as you can see, just some minor uh, changes.
This is
Like,
another interesting question. How do you deal? Sometimes you know how it goes. You said the client is always right. Sometimes there are those what feels like endless rounds of corrections, which obviously at some point this is not great for you for your studio, because you keep working and working and working, but the amount that you're paid is still the same. So how do you prevent this from happening? From those endless round of corrections, do you have, let's say, in your contract that you two rounds of corrections are included and afterwards the client
yeah,
has to pay?
exactly like you said, yeah, 2 rounds of corrections, and then we charge by hour. Um, with some clients, we have 3 rounds of corrections, uh, because they demand. With 3 rounds, obviously you have to raise your price, and that's why I'm very happy when we just have 1 round, or like no corrections. This is like the best time you can have. But yes, you have to plan for the worst case scenario. So yeah, two rounds, and after that, um, please, yeah, consider paying for every hour. And I don't know how else can you, yeah, avoid these situations, but they will always come. I mean, with some clients it's much easier. With some it's a nightmare. So I I don't want to to say that we have a blacklist for clients, but obviously, if you remember, Theo, the presentation Jason made on the meetup, he told that at Brick Visual they have like different
Yeah,
types of clients,
rankings.
so
Yeah.
ratings, rankings, and this is a good approach. I think we should follow what he did and start like give ratings for the clients. This is a good thing
Do you
because then
also end the relationship with some clients because I think
Mhm.
maybe we try to educate clients up to a certain degree, and at some point we see that there is no point of it. Then we probably, out of being professionals, we end the current project, but afterwards we probably say, okay, this is where our ways part because you obviously do not trust my expertise, so there is no point of continuing our relationship. Or do you say, okay, it for the sake of the money, I'll continue it. I don't care. I just do what I want. I won't show it in my portfolio.
Well, we try to stay professional, and obviously, if the client doesn't behave professional, we can always put it in some words like we would like this and this to improve. But I wouldn't say to a client, let's end. I mean, maybe I was lucky to yeah a certain point, but I never had a situation where I would say, let's end this relationship now. Um, I mean, I was sure frustrated with the amount of change, or sometimes lately with certain clients, the problems that they are not ready to pay more for the amount of changes. Like there was an animation project, or should I say, a project that involved animation. And with animation, it's always a lot of work involved. And if they want to change a thing in an animation, yeah, you have to render a lot of frames, and it takes like more. It's more work involved, and they didn't want to cover it like for the changes they wanted us to make. It was a small problem, should I say, because after a while, it just shows that they don't appreciate our work that that much. Uh, so this is a thing, but yeah, you can. Next time you work with the same client, you know how they behaved last time, and raise the your rates, for example, or put a certain text in the contract to avoid the same situation.
So you seem to adapt. Okay, this is very interesting to hear. This actually partially answers the question by Simon. He asked in the very beginning, how do you form your prices and contracts with your clients, to your clients? I mean, this is a topic or a question that comes very often.
Mhm.
People saying, "Yeah, okay, how do you do it? Do I do it per square meter? Do I do it depending on the scale or how, let's say, luxurious is, or how big the clan is? How do you do your prices, without asking what they are? Do your prices depend on who the clan is, or do you have, let's say, fixed rates?
Uh, they depend exactly. They depend on the client, on the project, on the level, yeah, of luxury, should I say? So there's no fix, and this is also a problem when new clients want like a price list, because there is no price list in our case. We just try to,
Estimate.
yeah, to estimate exactly. Also, it's a project, a residential project, and an office project different. Yeah, you would probably have less work in an apartment than in a big office with all these things happening there. So it is different.
And one question from a future speaker of the BIM event, Roman. Um, how long does it take to finish an image at 100%, like at average, just from start to finish?
A few days, I would say. I mean, probably I would say 3-4 days. It could be an average, sometimes less, sometimes more. Like this image, probably 3-4 days.
Okay, from start to finish. That's really cool. And a very interesting question by Irakli. Um, the top 3 rules that you use for architectural visualization, if you have, you know, 3 rules, or let's say I had to prepare a question like this: if there is something that you never compromise me with. I mean, looking at the renders that you have, lighting seems to be a very, very important aspect of your work. Like almost every interior has very nicely pronounced natural light streaming through the windows. So, yeah, are there some rules that you always follow when creating these, or?
Well, we want to because we show actual like projects. They have a location. We want to have the realistic sunlight. So we always want to make sure that the direction, yeah, of the sunlight is realistic. So we don't show sunlight coming from north. So we are very, very
So you work with
picky.
geolocation and according sunlight and positioning and all of this. This is very important. I also do it too. It's very important here in Germany. Just
Yeah.
for the audience to know, maybe somewhere else people don't care about it, but people here, like when they sell, let's say, apartments, and they are, let's say, they have a view to the south. This is like a big argument for selling. This is like a big plus point. So you need to thematize this often into your visualizations, right?
Mm,
So okay, so lighting is not random just to look nice. It's
yeah.
anchored in reality.
So in terms of camera height, we try not to uh, get too low. Like I would say, it's like the highest would be 150. I would never go higher than 150 because otherwise it's unnatural, and also with the ceiling of maybe 250 or 270, yeah, you would be like under the ceiling, yeah. And the lowest would be 120, I guess, but even that is too low for me. So I try to stay in this real range. Uh, yeah. So this is, and try to show as much as possible. Yeah, like in with these living situations, usually you show even like three functions, like the living area, the dining area, the kitchen area, and like that, the potential buyer can see the whole have the whole picture, and he also the terrace. Yeah,
You use a
show
lot
as
of
much as
camera
possible.
clipping. Um, uh,
And maybe you can do like a close up on top of it where you show some corner, which we do a lot, to be honest, but it wouldn't be the only image in the package. It would be some additional.
and when it comes to the camera clipping, this is a personal question of mine because you know, the way I do it with Haldor, as I always try to avoid it as much as possible, um, in order to simulate what, let's say, if a photographer would go there, and take photos. So how do you, um, like, do you say, yeah, okay, this is true, Theo, but at the same time, if a photographer would go there, he would take like a ton of photos, but we are paid for this one photo, which is meant to show, as you just showed, it's meant to show everything, like the dining, the living, the kitchen, and everything in between. And of course, if I don't use camera clipping, then I simply won't be able to do it. Is it your philosophy?
Um, there's no like the single philosophy. Framing is important. All those things you just mentioned, they are equally important. So in the end, you want to read the image fast. Yeah, you want to have a nice picture. You want to feel yourself there. Yeah, so like like a sofa, and it's when it's empty, it's not that welcoming. But if you put like a few cushions, if you a blanket on top of it, you suddenly want to be there. So you just have to pay attention to everything equally. So obviously it starts with the like base stuff, and that's why we have okay here we did save the white views, which is very bad, but you you ask different questions in the beginning than in the end. So you in the beginning you just want to compose like very 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 basic stuff to like to have a basic message, but then you you refine until there are no more questions. Yeah, and
That's beautifully put. So would you say, what would you say makes a visualization successful? Is it serving a purpose? No more questions? Is it provoking emotion? Is it photorealism? Is it a mix of all of those?
the mix of all of those, I would say, and a happy client also.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is what we do it for our clients and oftentimes for their clients as well. So, yeah. And it seems like in your case, the clients are very happy, are very often very happy because they always tend, or at least often tend to ask for more images, which once again, congrats for this. Um, how do you, apart from the cold emails that you mentioned in your introduction, how do you reach out to clients or how do you find new ones?
This is a good question, Daryl. How do you find new clients? I mean, it used to be easier in a way. I feel that like 20 years ago, I could just go on a like a real estate fair and have a bunch of brochures, and it would be enough to find new clients, or just sell those brochures to potential clients. And the last time I did it, it was and I mean the analog stuff, like print out brochures. It was a nice way of reaching out. I think that it's much nicer to have something real, physical. I think last time I did it was 2017 or 18, and since then I've done only emails, cold emails. But I think now you should consider even more doing analog stuff, like because you are over flooded with emails. I have a real problem with spam emails. I get them, yeah, a lot. So yeah, make sure that your cold outreach doesn't feel like spam. So if you take care of the brochure, if you create something nice that you can actually enjoy having in your hand, yeah, with nice images, then I think this is the best way nowadays. So I wouldn't do emails to be honest. And we get the new clients usually by referrals, which is the best thing that can happen to you. But to get there, you have to, yeah,
To convince.
you have to, have clients.
Yeah, word of mouth is
Satisfied.
also the best that has worked for me, and also networking and meeting people, because really digitally there is so much input that at some point there is a fatigue. I mean, I think that and I'm not like a huge popular worldwide studio, but even like in the last weeks I've probably gotten 5 6 emails of people wanting to get hired, wanting to work with me or do something for
Mhm.
me. And at some point it's like a lot, and at some point you just start ignoring those people, even though I always try to take the time to go through their portfolios and all of this. But yeah, difficult. And of course I think you should be active on social media, like it or not. I do not like it, but it has to be done. Okay. And you prefer, what would you say is the best way to establish a lasting, long term relationship with your clients?
Get to know them very good, and I mean, yeah, fulfill their needs, and then be there for them. Maybe do a little bit more than they asked. Uh, Maybe offer them something new service. Yeah, there's always a way of offering more than people ask. It shows like your engagement. I think it's a good thing. So with these clients, for example, with some of them we don't only make visualizations. We do all sort of stuff. A lot of services.
Yeah, I think, but it absolutely pays off to actually have long-term relationships with your clients, because you know them, they know you. At some point, you understand each other with just half a word, and the process is way easier. The revision rounds are way less. So totally aim for this. This is my total recommendation.
Yeah. And one more thing, I think it's important to show your professional engagement, like the way you perceive your work. That this is something very important to you, that you take it seriously, and showing this to the client, that it's not just some kind of like a side gig, and showing them that this is your life, that you are very passionate about this, and passionate not only about the like doing beautiful images, but finding solutions, because each project has a lot of uh, questions, yeah, a lot of unsolved problems, and you will uh, have to solve them on the way. And the creativity is exactly there to to solve these things and show that show your client that you are capable of that. Yeah, and you enjoy doing this.
Great tip, by the way. If I've had clients where I actually argued with them over the contents of their project, and so I criticized their project and their work, and they actually very much appreciated this because they saw that I care. I don't only, I'm not only a service person who gets money
Mhm,
and gives them an image, but they see that I taught myself into their project, so that something just doesn't work the way it is. And I suggested something else, something better, which they ended up implementing because they saw that somebody cares. So even though I criticized them, instead of being salty
mhm,
about it, they actually were very appreciative. And I'm sure
mhm.
you've also had such situations where you also, helped your clients or said something, let's say, a form of constructive criticism, which actually turned out positive, where they saw that you actually care.
Yeah, if there is an opportunity for that, yeah, not just criticize them out of the box, you know.
Yeah, of course. No, no, but if there is something and you have a better
Yeah,
solution, or if it's like
yeah,
if
yeah,
it's constructive criticism, what we do on
yeah.
the campus, then people actually appreciate it because you know that you're on their side, you sit in the same boat, and this is always something which I love to hear from clients when they say, I know you're a partner to me. You're not just, somebody who does a service for me, which I pay for. We are partners. And then people will stick with you, because they know that they can trust you, that you're on their side, and it's an advantage to stick with you. And so please listen to this advice. It's a very sound one. Um, I also wanted to ask you, I have just one, two questions more, and it's
Mhm.
6:30, but I hope you're still with me here. Uh,
I'm still with
Audience
you.
is still there. So I wanted to ask you, we're in this very ever evolving, ever changing industry. There are always new tools, new workflows, AI, real time rendering. How do you manage to keep up with the trends, or do you just select a few things and then go with them?
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like I don't succeed in keeping up with all these new trends, but I have watched some podcasts on YouTube, not only on Archviz, but like in general, what the situation is at the moment, like on the topic of AI. Yeah, and then conversations like that's why the real human connection is very important. Yeah, so talking to colleagues is helps a lot in this case. Like they would usually talk about new stuff they tried. Yeah, and then social networks like LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, people post a lot of like I wouldn't say like bragging, but they present it in a useful way. Like this is our new workflow. We and this is what we can achieve with this. In the end, this is like showing showing yourself from the best side, which is okay. But it's a win-win. You know, you can learn something from this too.
Archviz
Yeah.
based. I'm sure making it also helps you a lot. You said that you
Yeah.
follow other studios all over the world, and by classifying, ranking them with Archviz base or those videos that you do,
Okay.
let me actually share a link for everybody who hasn't seen them because they're very awesome. Um, and of course, the Beam meetups where you meet other professionals, other people. I think this also helps a lot to, keep um, up to date, to be up to date, stay up to date, to hear what people actually do. Because there are a millions of trends, there are millions of tools when it comes to AI, but not only, also render engines. And I think that meeting actual people, looking at what actual studios do, will give you a bit of a better idea of what actually works, what maybe makes sense to invest in or to try out for sure. Um,
Sometimes you have to ask someone, yeah, to ask the question like, how do you do it? Yeah, it's a nice way of you know
um,
learning something new, but also starting a relationship with people. Like, how do you do it? And people are usually, yeah, they usually love to tell their process if if you ask them.
yeah,
If
that's
you
true.
don't ask them,
Yeah, asking you brings you to Rome, as you know the German saying. Um, I have a question from Michael. Um, do
Mhm.
you actually, let's say, as rendart, he says, I see that Artem is a very good person, so I thought, why not ask? Apparently, he has a
Thank you.
friend who's a very good modeler for both interiors and exteriors. You said you work with freelancers. Can people reach out to
Yeah.
you and your studio?
Yes.
And
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. We're always happy to, yeah, to learn new, to have new contacts. So you can send us an email. Um, I mean, we get a lot, to be honest. We get a lot of emails with proposals, and um I obviously I cannot promise anything at this point, but you never know.
so it is mail at rendart.
Yes. Yes, I have to say that we do our modeling in Cinema 4D, and we also prefer to work with freelancers who work in Cinema 4D. We used to have freelancers who would model mostly buildings with 3ds Max, but it requires
Yeah,
some adjustments
yeah.
usually.
Okay. Well, maybe some people are so talented that there is also equipment
Exactly.
and no
Yeah, you never
problem.
know.
But yeah, so I shared the mail, and Michael's friend can send a mail. Amit and whoever wants, just send over.
Mhm.
If you don't ask, you definitely get a no. Only if you ask, you have the chance to get a yes. So gladly try it out, my friends. And my last question before I ask you to give your message to the Chaos Campus is would be like, you do the Archviz studio, you're very involved with the community, you do the Archviz base. Can you still achieve, or do you still achieve, a healthy work-life balance? Okay, this was the answer, I think.
uh, I mean, sometimes I feel like I do, and but sometimes it gets. I mean, it's I don't know what a work-life balance feels like, to be honest, because is it like a tangible thing, that you can say this is work-life balance?
And let's say having enough
First of
time
all,
for your family. You say you have kids, and for yourself, let's
yeah,
say your fitness, your mental health.
yeah. Well, I have to do some sacrifices from time to time, and sometimes I have to do more, and sometimes less. This is. I hope this is an answer
Yeah,
to your question.
as long as it's not like everything is a sacrifice and a big compromise, I
Yeah.
think it works. I think we all have to. So yeah, thank you very much. And as I said, what would be your message, something you want to say to the Chaos Campus community? You joined us last week. It's awesome to have you on the campus. Maybe you have seen a bit of it. You've seen the show already. So any message for this lovely, very tight knit, very supportive community?
Message for the community. Um, I, I I think we should stick together as a community. I think there's no such thing as doing too little for the community. I think there should be always a conversation, especially now. I believe I'm not the only one who has some concern about the future in our industry. I mean, yeah, with AI, no one knows how far this all goes, and I think we should stick together. Yeah. So
We do. Thank you so much. This is exactly what the campus is about. This is exactly what we're doing here. We're sticking together, we're supporting each other, helping each other um, by providing feedback, by sharing very honest opinions. Many of the people that are now in the audience here, people like um, Amit or Michael or Francesco and Danushka Simon, actually do it and do it in a very professional way. And this makes a huge difference. And we also support each other when it comes to ideas. Like I remember when Amit shared that he started doing those meetups um, in Mumbai, how many people tuned in to just congratulate him, to say, yeah, continue, it's so great. So yeah, totally agree with your message and thank you for this. And also thank you so much for the whole session. It was great to get this glimpse behind the curtains of a professional German studio with so much experience. Absolutely loved it. Very insightful and inspiring. Thank you for this. I don't know. We're still in this mode where, oh yeah, here we go. Now we are
thank you
big
for this
screen.
opportunity, Theo. I really enjoyed this conversation. We should do it more of that, to be honest.
You're always welcome to come back with, let's say, maybe a different topic or as a part of a panel. And please be active on the campus. Share your thoughts or share your work and also your team. Who knows? Maybe you can find some freelancers here as well. We have very capable
Nice.
people. Um, and to you, my friends, thanks for sticking with us for 2.5 hours. As always, you're absolutely awesome. Next episode is going to be on Tuesday, April 28th with Lisa Della Dora from Bloom Images. She was also one of the speakers on the last Beam event. We'll talk about imperfections and lighting in interior visualization. Don't miss it. And also, happy birthday to her twin boys, which is today. And with this, my friends, let's wrap up. Stay safe, be healthy, and I hope to see you again in 2 weeks. Until then, rock on and keep it real, my friends. Much love and goodbye.